Well, today is day 184. It is now Sunday morning, 12:30, 1 o'clock, Sunday the 27th. So, yeah, yesterday morning, yesterday night, I made good progress. I got the windshield frame on by myself, the hood on. Still have to finish up the hinges, but it's on. Got the radiator on as well last night. I just put coolant in there this morning, and there is no leaks, which is good. So, yeah. Air cleaner's on. Put new hoses for my turbo and T-clamps versus there was like these old clamps, like nope, upgrade. I even put a down tube on as well. So when it does make a mess, it's not on the axle, it's on the ground. So it's a 2-foot long hose, just about the axle height. So that's on, that's done. Wiring is all tidied up. Kind of away from the exhaust heat, so we're good back there. This shouldn't be a big worry there. Yeah, everything's done. Filters changed. Motor mounts are done as well. Ordered new pads from Mike's Motor Pool. Put those on. Done. The wiring harness and the fuel lines go across the crossmember. You get these metal clamps, which I don't like them. They're not convenient to take off. Versus kind of zip tie, you're done. So I just put zip ties across and make sure I don't crush the fuel line. Did that. And then there's an old, I put some plastic for in case it wants to wear, it can't, for the fuel line. So we're done down below now. Horns wired up. And then for the radiator, I put this little peacock hose on so when I can drain it, it's easier to control. So that's a minor thing. Bumper is loosely on, not secure, which I'm going to do after the video. But I got to take this bolt and that bolt off on both sides so I can mount the main mount on, because I'm flipping the bumper upside down because I know eventually frame extensions go on a electric winch if I keep my truck long term. But also right in here, I want to put a bench top vise that rotates so it stores this way, and I can rotate it outwards to use it. Plus, I have my neighbor's drill to drill holes in frames, which I'm going to do for my back hitch. It's a class 4 from Kirk, 18,000 pounds, plenty for this truck, plenty for my use. So I had the drill. I'm going to drill 6 holes in the back of the frame at some point. But up front, since I have the drill, I might as well drill these out. It's a lot easier with his drill than up to a 1/2 inch max on my drills I have. So I can go up to like 1 inch. So yeah, make some holes here, mount a plate. Not sure entirely what I want to try to do, but something. And then on the shackles, I need to figure out how these go. It's only one way. Yeah, I'm not sure, or what side. So I gotta find some pictures of how I tore them off. So those I got some new bump stops since we're here. I got bump stops, 3 of them. Mine, I had 1. 3 are missing. I'm going to reduce flex, but I mean hit bump. But yeah, it's whatever. Put them on. Should have them. So those came. I got these from Got these from Memphis Equipment on eBay. On their storefront, I couldn't find them, but on their eBay, I could. So I got those. I also got this little tiny data plate from Quarter Ton Military for the little Jeep company. And I got this. It's small. So my truck already has one from 2008 when it last time got overhauled. I'll have to clean it up, but put it right next to it. So that says 2008 and the location, which I don't know how to debrief. But for mine, overhauled at, I'm just going to put my city in the state. So Erie, PA. Pretty small letters to deal with. And then the date. No vehicle is ever done. I mean, I still want to do, but again, it's overhauling, not modification. So my deadline is Bantam in, 47 days. This is yesterday's stuff. So 47 days from Bantam from now. So my goal, and that's even Thursday, I want to put down Saturday, the date for Bantam. So probably like 06. I think it's the 15th or the 18th weekend, so probably the 17th of 2025. That's my date I'm going to put on, most likely. Or else I could shoot for Memorial Day, but that's cutting close, and it's not finally done. So, plus the Memorial Day parade is only 2 miles from here. I can half-fast and not have a bed on or something. So that's what I'm gonna do. Bantam's date or my birthday. Oh, 6/11. It's an option. So you got those, and that's motor mounts. That's about it for over here. I got some divorce case mounts. He only sent me one. Mike sent me an email saying the rest I have not gotten stock. So that's the one I got there. What else have I can show you real quick? Put the radiator on. The fan had to come off because of the shroud, but the fan can stay inside the radiator on, and then re-bolt it up. Leave this loose, leave that loose, slide it forward, try to bolt it on painfully, but it's on now. So we're good there now. I'm ready to fire up. Technically, at this stage, I just did the fuel tank. I'm happy with it, but I'm missing this piece here that goes for these lines, and mine is, I tore it apart because it's very gunked up. It's seized, it's gunked, and I want to get a new one. Mike's Motor Pool sells it, but they're out of stock. It's like $180 total. Expensive. And I'm not really going to use the system, but I want it to work if I ever need it, not work. So I'm going to go to the barn tomorrow and install it. Hey, it's on, so these lines are not like breathing air or leaking liquid. This is liquid here for fuel. This is probably return, my guess. But yeah, those need to get hooked up. So I don't have a hole in the system, plus even this big hole too for air for the turbo. That goes into the engine, so yeah, that'd be really a loss of pressure. So yeah, I need to plug that out. I try to find plugs. I don't have any, so I'm gonna obviously install it, but it's not gonna work. So that's that. That's a bit about it for the engine bay. Engine bay has been done. Wiring harness, I did figure it out. So I had all this harness sitting down, like, where's these go? Well, I had the oil pressure gauge wrong plug. So first off, I knew wire goes here, and then a wire goes here. Wasn't entirely sure where it all went. Okay, it did go here, but it couldn't reach. It's like, okay, I must have a plug wrong. And so I moved this whole harness over here. Oh, one plug plugs in. So I solved it. And then these ones plug in. So that was pretty straightforward from there. But I have one extra wire down there, and it's labeled number 10. It's a heavy gauge with like a flat pin connection style. And I can't figure out where it was. Once I go to electric school for maintenance for college class, I asked my teacher, plus he's an old military U.S. Marine, mainly focused on armor technology. That's what he focused on in the military, but also he did wiring and such too, of course. And so with the diagram, the whole, it's like your number 10 is from your master switch, so your on and off switch, your power, or your battery cutoffs. And that goes up to here. And that's pretty much live power when the switch is on, which is telling me like everything else is hooked up, so it's got to be a bonus extra wire to have for, and I'm sure SECO might have tossed that in for add-on for the A3s. I'm not sure what, or the later models. Mine's a 65 truck with an 83 title, so it must, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm missing something probably, but it runs without it. But for me, it's an extra wire that's powered when the on switch is on. So my intent is now to remove the air box off so I have easier access and install my 24 volt to 12 volt conversion box down in here. I haven't bought one yet, but perfect place for it. Plug into it, and then I have 12 volt, and then there's plenty of room behind the dash. Run my power in for inside stuff, and then power down for other stuff to a fuse box, and then fuse box splits off everywhere else. So that's my intent and my idea. All right, that's that. Windshield frame is been on, of course. I am missing my bottom gasket here. It's not too critical, but do want to replace it. These bolts are in. That one over there has one bolt that obviously broke inside. I tried to drill it out. It's hardened steel. I just can't drill through it. So 2 bolts should do. And plus this windshield for me being hardtop on for most of my usage I don't even have to pull it off. So it's gonna have support, extra support on top of the roof, and then these wing nuts as well. So I can get by with one broken bolt, get by with it. But they're all never seized. Then this main pin going in, I never seized the splines, but I put grease where it would pivot if I ever did pivot it, which I probably will for the gasket at least. And then the threads, of course, never seize eventually, but I only have one nut, and so it's my car. I'm trying to go to the store trying to find another 3/4 inch fine thread nut. So I'm on a hunt for that. But Lowe's didn't have any last night, so that's that. All right, inside the engine, the cab now. Get the back wheel on, windows are clean. I got the glove box on. I lost the hardware, so I had to put new ones in. Sorry, but that's on. Alright, that's about it. On this side, got rid of the blue paint, painted it nicely. That's done. Fuel tank, a big thing. I got, move them four around. I got the wiring harness. I didn't want to put it through. Just more of a hassle than it's worth. There's an extra couple inches of wire, so I went around it. I'm going to cut off some wood here so it's not going to snag and hit or pinch it. So I'm going to cut that off at least. But zip tied it so it can't move. Zip tied it so it can't move. I ground down the steel so I have good ground. And then it goes to that plug. And it goes to this plug. So we're good on the harness now. The block I have a replacement for. Now, fuel tank. I want to flush it and drain it to make sure the nice new motor's happy for good. And looking inside here, I was a bit worried about this. But, and then the water filter showed signs of debris. So it's like, the fuel tank, I want to flush it. Well, before I flush it, I want to make sure I have gaskets. So I'm not going to go ahead and pull this off and not have a new gasket to put on. So I ordered gaskets for this guy, but what came in the mail was this gasket. So we're good for that, but for this, I don't have a gasket for it yet. I didn't see one at Mike's or Memphis. There's CNC other sites to look at. I looked at on eBay, couldn't find one. So I sent Mike an email saying he might have one somewhere else. But yeah, of course, I'm not going to drain the fuel tank now. But I want to get the truck running and driving tomorrow. Would be nice. So I can put the roof on, the doors on. Yeah, that's the plan tomorrow. And that way I can work on wheels and drilling holes in the frames tomorrow outside and have the shop clean for Dad. So the next idea was, okay, fine. Can't drain the fuel tank right now, but I want to get it running. So I said, we'll just drain the hole in the bottom. The problem is, it's you need an Allen key pretty much. It's a 9/16 Allen size to go in. And I hunted my drawers, all my tools in the shop, and I don't have one. I got up to a 1/2 inch. So all these Allens in here, nothing worked. The best I had was this guy, but still too small. Too small. And I got creative. I got a bolt and nuts. Here's my version 1. Obviously, it did not work right away. This goes onto the gas tank to a socket, and you spin it left. The left, they all turn off. So then I try to ruin the thread so it can't come off. Still didn't work. Then I got another bolts in my car, and I went ahead and pulled the assembly apart and put a cutter pin. And then also got a grade 8. And it just destroyed that cotter pin and all the threads. It's like, nope, did not work. Dad came out here, we just checked ideas. Nothing I have in the shop though. Take that 9/16 off. And I know I need that nut for the windshield. It's like, I'm gonna go to town. It's 8:20, they close at 9. Yeah. Went there and rushed in, tried to find stuff, but I did find, well, I went to Home Depot first. They're open until 10. Walked around the store, manager came over and helped me out. And I try to explain it, not perfect English to him, so it's no idea what I'm trying to find. Like, oh, here's what this, like 1/2 inch stripe, the 9/16. That's a socket, dude. I need a stubby type of deal. He could not find one. And then my idea is like, find me a 1/2 inch drive to a 3/4 inch adapter. Then I can grind down the sides to 9/16 and call it good. Still not good enough. There's not in stock. So, okay, I'm about to give up. I walked by a different area at the store, and I stumbled across these from Husky. $16 for the set. Black for impact rated. And they had, of course, it's missing right now. They had the 9/16 to half-inch drive. Perfect. Good price. And like, what does Lowe's have? Lowe's wants $5 more. Like, I'll just buy it there. So, got this. So good. And now it's off. And let's look at the fuel. I cleaned the oil pan here, so it's nice and clean, so I know what debris that might fall out. And I'm happy. It may not be more than half gallon. It's gushing out, but it looked clear to me and good. I let it drip a few times to see if there's any water popping out. It's hard to tell, but yeah, it's clean for the most part. There's some debris in here. Yeah, it's pan for gold here. Yeah, there's some debris at the very bottom of the tank, but it's not bad. It's not like liner material falling out, which I thought it was. So with this, and then it gushed out nicely. So that might be the worst of it, maybe. So I'm gonna call it good and run this. So we'll check back on fuel status after Bantam in June. That's pretty much between now and June, which is a month and a half time. That should be enough to break in my engine. So 500 miles total my engine break-in period. And I'll transmission, motor, and even radiator flush it. So, and I can inspect my water filter and see how bad and debris it's got. And if it's bad, then we'll flush this properly when I'm not in a rush. All right, that's my fuel. All right. And then as for radiator, I put coolant in here, trying to save money, of course, and it still cost me $80. I got checking the forums on Still Soldiers for help, and I just went with this for now. It's green. I got that stuff, and then on top of this, which is now in the trash, I can't dig it out. But on Still Soldiers, there's a forum on there, post, one guy saying he put Napa Cool, Kool, additive. I guess it helps with some pitting with your aluminum castings for oil cooler and other parts. So, sure, $5 at Napa. It's only like a pint bottle. So I pour that in, see if that helps. And of course, I got distilled water for the mixture. I need 4 gallons of those and 4 gallons of coolant. And I poured it in. I did like distilled water, coolant in that ratio mix. Just kind of hopefully it mixes right away. And then the bottle of cool. And I had a gallon and a half of distilled water left over. It's like, crap, it's not filling up. But let it bubble, and sure enough, half gallon went in. But now it's full, topped off, and I still have a gallon left of all 8 gallons. So I'm sure it needs to work through the system and then top it off later. So that's the plan. So that's the radiator. And that's about all my talk. Let's go on the other side now. I got a new thing from my wiper motor, wiper system. Got a nice new is it the new knob? Not really sure. Yeah. There's a nice new knob. My old knob is bad. On top of that, of course, knobs are not in stock at Mike's, but you can buy the whole thing. Plus, I think this is a failure point as well. So, $40, buy a new one. Hopefully, it helps the wiper motors. That never worked when I got the truck. But at least they have manual control, so you have to. Got new door bolts. I got 3. They're expensive, and I already have 1. The other ones I had to cut off. So, got those 3 for the doors. Of course, you gotta find nuts, which I got plenty. So that's that. We got the light switch installed. On and off switch on. I know it's upside down, but the way I kind of prefer it. So it's out of the way of the engine stop. So they're hanging down here. It kind of comes close, and I want to pull if I ever have to without it being in the way. So now engine's on, power's on, engine stop, I have full access. I don't know. My choice, my preference. Alright, tricycle's on. Yeah. I ordered a new light bulb lens here. Found one on eBay for $5. It's green. I did not know I needed it, but I know it's broken, but it's not that bad of a need. And oh, another rare. Found it, bought it. Hasn't showed up still yet, but yeah. Anyway, that's on. And then for the switch here, I made sure I got good ground. So I made sure it's all ground to bare steel, washers and all. So it's good ground. Should not catch fire now. Gotta bundle it up. Gauge cluster, for the most part, it's wired. This system here, it's for, again, late models for air shifts. And I don't have air shift, so I don't have to worry about it. So I can skip that. I do have 3 extra wires here. They're labeled at least. So air switch PSI, which this should go to a light, which it's not the right plug. So this goes to my buzzer. And then I have manifold heat switch. So these two are number 55s, and they go for this switch here, which I'm not going to hook up. So they're labeled, but still though, on the back of this gauge cluster, for like engine, well, that gauge is not hooked up at all. And then that gauge has one plug, but they're all like, where's the other plug at? I'm not sure. That's where I'm questioning, trying to find help for the gauge at least. Start switch is ready. This is all hooked up, plumbed. So that's all done in here. Clutch is hooked up. It's pretty stiff, but over time it's not bad. I put the pin in for this. Now this is working, and I got brakes finally. And then on my steering column, my nut I have somewhere, it's good. But when I pulled off the old steering wheel and banging it hard, well, that's not me, it's Dad. We destroyed the threads. So we need to clean the threads up. So Dad had this tool at work, thought it would work, and of course it's not going to work for cleaning threads up. So we might have to get inventive here and figure out how to clean the threads up. So I don't want to replace that shaft, all because of threads. So that's what's left there. Alrighty, that's about it. I still have to do handbrake cable install. Oh yeah, this side, I got the fire extinguisher mount installed, new hardware. Jerry cans on, trapped, mounts secure, 2 carriage bolts and 2 that way. And then this I repainted and re-scuffed up to make it look better than what I had it before. Kind of too much half-assed, so it's a little better. Yeah, it's about my wrap up here, what I've got done. Here's the to-do list still. Return springs for all the pedals. Fuel tank, change that block out. Handbrake cable. I just did that, or now we're happy with it. Yay. And then new seat belts, I'll show you. I got new seat belts. Finish the dashboard, bump stops, hood hinge, make them tight. Put the batteries back in, hook up the cables. Add coolant, well that's done. Drill and tap my dashboard out. Drill my hitch out. Put my cab bolts on. And then the doors and the mirrors go on. So that's what's to do. And then of course paint wheels. Paint the bed of the truck bed. As for wheels, I'm thinking about painting them black. Satin black as of right now. So I'm running out of paint. And then with time pinch and time crunch. And looking at pictures online, I don't know, this 2-ton truck seems a little more cooler for say, versus all green truck. Kind of like, I don't know, I just want to add that effect. I know it looks better with the whole NATO theme going on, but mine's solid green. We'll see, but I don't know, I feel like doing black. And yeah, that's the plan there. Anyway, that's my update overall. Still gotta do my lights and all, paint those. And then I did also figure out my ground wires. So for like headlights, you have 2 wires for your headlights that go in on top. But there's a bottom plug. That bottom one's ground. Now ground's not part of the harness, it's a separate plug. Just a plug going to ground, that's all it is. On this side, there's 2 grounds. So same deal, you have 2 up top, and then 1 on middle bottom of the headlight. That goes to ground. Then for my night light, black lights, there's 1 plug here, positive, and then your negative, it just plugs in and goes down. So I can pull off the old harness or off the old light. Hopefully I find it. If not, I can always just get creative with the old harness and find a plug and solder it on and go to that. So I got that figured out finally. And then digging through my stash of parts over there, I found this strip, which I need to install. It's for the fender here. I knew I was missing it. I don't know where I put it. This one's the old one. It's still good condition. I saved it, but that one I did buy a new one. I found it, but I got to install it. So, found that. Alright, that's that. That's about it. So, kind of long update, but a lot of things got done. I did also get stencils in the mail from eBay. So tailgate and dashboard, battery box, tire pressure, fuel tank, and I drain air tanks. But I do want to get creative and kind of funny here. For the fuel tank, obviously the diesel truck, but it is multi-fuel. And just for the gag of things, I want to make a stencil at work. We make stencils at work as well, small ones, and make a stencil saying jet fuel. It does burn aviation fuel, so I figured just for gags. Plus, I do want to go to the airport at some point in time in my life with the Deuce, the international airport. Pull up there and ask at the gate, like, I need some jet fuel. For what? My truck. Just 2 gallons, nothing crazy. So, yeah, that's the intent plan there. And I guess the last part of the video is I got some drinks that came in the mail. Not sent to me at all. I had bought them. But I got some A-Bomb drinks. Been following them on Instagram. Small company. Just started in 2023. One guy, I think he's an Army medic. Special ops. Now it's his side business now. And I got the variety pack, 12 bottles. It's about the same price as Monster Energy, but you have only 10 calories and no sugar. So, yeah, it's got nice designs. I had that today already. It's good. And also the truck, it's kind of fitting, so that's why I wanted the stickers primarily. And he also gave us instructions and a note. And figured I'd just post, and so I did a reel today, and plus in the manual it says if you do reels and shorts, you might be able to get another set of another case free. So that's why I posted one earlier today, yesterday. And I got stickers. Some I don't mind, they're funny as well. So, of course, I'm going to put this on my truck because it's kind of like military nuclear war era for me. I do want to build a missile in the back for the gag of funness. But, yeah. Kiwi. Funny. So, yeah, I'm going to put a few of these on. Not that one, probably not. Maybe. These 4. But of course, for me, my rule for any stickers, like unlike this, is permanent, and some are permanent stickers. But for this, they're not really original to the truck, and I don't want to damage paint in some means. I usually get a big roll, 3 foot by 1 foot from McMaster magnetic, and there's adhesive on the other side. Place it on, cut it out, and then you can just place your stickers wherever you want and pull them off and not make damage. So that's my idea. So, yeah, that's that. Those came. Alrighty. Yeah, yesterday I did an all-nighter from pretty much 8 o'clock working on the truck till about 5 in the morning. Went to bed, get up at noon, and then been out in the garage since 5 o'clock at night, So now it's about almost 1:30 now, already in the morning. So, but I did get some progress done. I had to go to town at 8:30, so I've been gone to 8:30 till 11 o'clock. Went to a friend's house, watched some things get done on their side-by-sides, and now I'm home. First thing I did is drain fuel tank, and I'm happy with what I see, so that's a good sign. So now my next thing I'm doing now is impact gun, make some noise. Get these off, put the bumper on. And my next thing to do tonight, because I have a checklist, so I don't have to think about things. Let's do return springs, maybe. Return springs, we could do a drill and tap, which is time consuming, and hood hinge, and maybe batteries tonight, and I'll call it quits. So yeah. Alrighty. 30 minutes is a bit long, but yeah, that'll do. That will do. Alrighty, there's another update on Eagle Eye. So, good night.